Money
into the town's rich history back in the days when the mines of the Menominee Range were the primary employer in the area.
In 1876, the Menominee Mining Company was formed and began to harvest ore deposits on the Menominee Range located in south-central Upper Michigan. 2 years later, on October 26, 1878, the first ore from the Norway mine was shipped out of what is eventually to become the city of Norway. At that time, a town began to spring up to primarily cater to the needs of miners and their families. For a city less than a year old, it was considered a wonder for its time and was full of life, bustle, and enterprise. In 1880, the Norway mine was supplied with electric lights and were the first electric lights to be used in the Upper Peninsula. As the mines prospered, so did the town, until 1888 when a fire burned 43 businesses to the ground. The town was eventually rebuilt, and the town of Norway became incorporated in April of 1891. August Jake Mangini was born in Norway and remembers the early days when the trains used to haul ore from Norway to Escanaba.
Because when I was a youngster, like even 7, 8 years old, and you'd hear them switch engines, and then they were the smallest engine at that time. They were M1s, and then they used to be pulling the ore cars out of each mine, and then they used to stack them along the track. Just over here more, you could hear that switch engine, over by my house over there. They're trying to get up that grade, and I think they could take 7 or 8 cars, and that was the limit. But then in the evening, then there was around 3 men that were hired just special for loading up their cars with coal and water, so then they'd be all set in the morning to haul, and then
mining in those days was dangerous, and Jake remembers a tradition the miners had after they finished a day's work.
When you just about knew when the miners would be coming up on surface, had their shower in the dry, then they'd always save the cookie in the dinner pail. Usually they'd maybe have 2 cookies or 1 only. Then the father would always save that for either his daughter or son, and then that was like a tradition, that just like saying that want to thank the Lord that you're alive another day.
The Norway mines are now abandoned with little left on the landscape to remind the area residents of the once thriving mining industry, an industry that helped build the community they call home. And although the sights and sounds of the mines have faded into the past, Norway lives on with a bright future ahead of it. For the TV6 News Extra, this is Scott Zerbel reporting.
Our look at our town continues tonight on the TV6 News Extra with a report on why life in Norway is getting better all the time.
Okay, rule 1. When you're buying a truck, more is better. Like Chevy S10 Tahoe has 6 cylinders, which is 2 more.
Relationship between our town, Norway, and Veselios Service and Appliance. Celebrating their 64th year in business, Veselios brings you the finest in GE refrigerators, stoves, washers, and dryers. They also carry a full line of televisions and VCRs from RCA and GE, in addition to home furnishings and bedding. The place to go for the best deals on GE and RCA products, furniture, or bedding is Veselios Service and Appliance, part of our town, Norway, for 64 years.
Tonight, what happens to Michelle when she runs away?
You're the only one who understands me.
It's a wild search at Disney World on an all-new Full House.
Excuse me, sir.
My mom bleaches her mustache.
Then, Mark and Tyler remodel the bathroom.
Go home and get that dust out your hair. You like Grady from Sanford and Son.
It's an all-new coupe right after an all-new Full House. It's the right stuff.
Tonight on TV6.
It's Jack's IGA Super Spring Anniversary Sale. Look in Monday's Mining Journal for all the great specials in every department. Assorted flavors of IGA Pop. It's just $2.99 a case. Sweet, juicy California strawberries are just 79 cents a pound. And absorbent so-dry paper towels are just 39 cents a roll. During
A little above and beyond that of other communities of its size. The relationship between the community leaders, its people, and all of those who visit is a very close one. But the News Extra decided to look a little further to find out exactly why our town is a great place to live and what's being done to improve the quality of life for people in our town. Scott Zerbel has the details.
Growing up here in Norway, living all my life, I always kind of can fall back the way it was and understand why things are the way they are today. And I think that's an advantage. We are trying to change. We're trying to change the community to promote new businesses moving in. We want to promote our Main Street, return kind of small town USA with a lot of new businesses on Main Street and so on. So we've got a DDA that's quite active now, and we're hoping for a number of new things in Norway the next year or so.
The Norway DDA, or Downtown Development Authority, is only a year old, but one of its present goals is to attract shoppers to the downtown area.
We feel that we offer a lot of neat things. We've got some very neat buildings downtown with northern expressions, and we have a coast-to-coast and a True Value, and a lot of the very personal touch item type stores in the area. We feel that we can give service where your malls and things of that cannot give that service. We can give that very personal touch, being a small town and having the owner within that store and within that business is very crucial to the city and to the customers that come in that store.
Not only is the DDA helping to improve the shopping climate in Norway, it is also assisting the city with much-needed improvements.
Right now, the DDA is responsible for a storm sewer separation project that's going to be happening this year. We're going to separate all our stormwater out from US 2 South on Main Street, which will take a pretty good chunk of the city off our wastewater plant when it rains out. So those things are helpful. It kind of worries me with this new Proposal A that's coming through. There's a possibility that's going to adversely affect the DDA and the TIF district, but that's something that they're going to have to overcome. The DDA and the TIF district are definitely a good thing. It's a way to get some money into the city for infrastructure repairs and to make the city a lot more viable.
The city of Norway is an attractive place to live and offers some unique services to its residents, including the city's own golf course, cable system, and power plant that all add up to savings for the customer.
Right now, the people that are on Wisconsin Electric that are just outside of our service area are paying somewhere in the neighborhood of about 8 cents a kilowatt hour. Our residents that are hooked to the power system are paying about 5.5 cents a kilowatt hour right now. So you're looking at about 2.5 cents a kilowatt hour savings. You know, normal power bills run anywhere around $20 to $30 a month for power alone. The average city bill, which includes all services, cable TV, garbage pickup, water, sewer, and electric, runs anywhere around $70 to $100 is all.
Norway hosts regular events such as the Marion Park Summerfest, the Dickinson County Fair, and weekly stock car races, just to mention a few, that help attract people and money to the community. But what makes Norway someplace special?
I think it's size. It's a small community, so you know a lot of people. They know you, so there's good communication that way. This community's strong points are their people. You're going to find Norway has probably some of the most friendly, neat people there is in the Upper Peninsula. There's a lot of other cities that would take that same bragging concept, but we will hang on to that tight because we are a very neat kind of town.
I don't fear for my children here. You know, I don't have to worry about somebody picking them up. It didn't take long for one of the people in the clerk's office to tell me that they saw my kids in church one day, and they said, geez, you know, if your kid ever gets lost in town, he says, they're going to know who to bring him to because he looks just like you. So those are the kind of things that you pick up, and people here are always looking out for each other.
In Norway, this is Scott Zerbel reporting for the TV6 News Extra.
Tomorrow night on the News Extra, we will look at the impact the Norway area business community has on the region, the state, and the world. Plus, you'll meet Norway artist Nancy Linton, who learned the details of painting at her father's side. But just ahead for you tonight, the news, the weather, and the answer to the quiz question. And later on, Frank Allen with the Money Report.
Beautiful. Chrysler.
Your kid has a prototype. The Chrysler Concorde made the automotive press rave. With features like dual airbags and new cab-forward design.
And the place to take your wedding party is the Rialto Restaurant, with a spacious banquet room, a full menu, and outstanding service. Maxine's Bridal Shop and the Rialto Lanes and Restaurant, a good part of what makes our town, Norway, a special place to live.
Visit our town, Norway, and you'll find a dynamic community with a wonderful, welcoming attitude and an eye on the future. Planning for the future is a specialty of the Minor Funeral Home. With forethought funeral planning, you can spare your family many of the difficult decisions that sometimes accompany the loss of a loved one. And the Minor Funeral Home's newly remodeled facilities enhance the feeling of peace. For details about forethought funeral planning, contact the Minor Funeral Home in Norway, in our town.
Helping to build our community, our town, Norway, and extending throughout the western Upper Peninsula, the Quality Drywall Company provides both residential and commercial services. Jobs ranging from hanging sheetrock to painting, metal studding to wallpapering, and decorative texturing of walls and ceilings. Quality craftsmanship and good service. That's Quality Drywall's commitment to every customer. The Quality Drywall Company on US 2, helping to build the UP and our community, our town, Norway.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Asplin. Here's what's happening in the news. 28-year-old Mark Mikkola was convicted of second-degree murder when an Ontonagon County jury gave the verdict at 10 last night. The jury deliberated for over 6 hours yesterday, and they also returned one not guilty verdict for a felony firearm possession charge. The county's prosecutor, Beth Pachisny, says asking for a first-degree murder verdict, but she's happy with the outcome.
The case itself was had multifaceted. It was a very interesting case from the beginning. A second-degree verdict was I was very comfortable with it. I felt the jury did a great job with weighing all the evidence.
Ontonagon County Judge Roy Gotham will now await a pre-sentencing investigation report that will give him a better idea of Mikkola's background. Mikkola is being held in the Ontonagon County Jail, where he awaits his sentencing, which will begin in 2 to 3 weeks. He is facing up to life in prison with possible parole. A Michigan man has been executed in Texas. 37-year-old John Christopher Sawyers received a lethal injection early today. He was convicted for beating a woman to death with a cast-iron skillet. Sawyers made no last statement. He's the 59th person to be executed in Texas and the 203rd nationwide since 1976. A new study out tonight says it's harder for poor people to find jobs after they're cut from Michigan's general assistance roles. Beverly McDonald says the Michigan League for Human Services has found 20,000 people have been evicted from their homes since state GA roles were trimmed in 1991. He spoke in Lansing. Michigan voters still appear to be in favor of Proposal A. A poll published in today's Detroit Free Press says support has slipped in the past month. Still, 45% of those polled favor the school finance revamp plan. 39% oppose it, and 16% are still undecided. Decision day for voters is on June 2nd. The high school graduation season is upon us. In Calumet, the class of 1993 is a special one. Out of 105 graduates, 8 are graduating with perfect grade point averages. The kids say they don't mind sharing the spotlight because they've grown up together, but they do admit others may be just as deserving.
Even though there is 8 valedictorians, there are many people in this class that are a lot brighter than myself, but it's just that I put in a little extra time, and that's all it came to be as a valedictorian. There's many other people deserving in this class even, just that they, I don't know, maybe didn't put in as much time as I did.
6 of the 8 are going to Michigan Tech. The others will be attending SUNY College and Western Michigan. And not one of them has expressed, I believe, an interest in meteorology or doing the weather.
That's too bad. It really takes brains.
Yeah, a lot of guesswork, too.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's right. This is all scientific knowledge.
You better believe it.
Feeling for it.
First of all, let's take a look at what's happened. Then we will talk about what will be happening, or what might be happening. High and low today at the Marquette County Airport.
In our town, Norway, finding the store to give you the best deals on Zenith TVs is easy. It's Peterson Electric Service. You'll find a full line of Zenith televisions, appliances, and home furnishings. And right now, there's a $50 rebate on selected Zenith televisions. Make sure you stop in to see the outstanding selection. Peterson Electric Service has been here for years and will remain for years to come. Peterson Electric Service on Main Street in our town, Norway. As a major employer in our town, Norway, we at Perry Printing realize the strength of our community. And it's the strength of our community which makes us one of the major suppliers of product labels in the Midwest. Products such as Procter & Gamble, Mobil Oil, Planters Lifesavers, and Miller Brewing all carry with them a part of our community. We're proud of our products and all the people that help make them, which means we're also proud of our town, Norway.
Loft Homes Building Center is proud to be a part of the Norway community. Loft Homes is a full-service building center which serves the professional to the novice. You'll find anything you need for almost any project, including quality Andersen windows. With Andersen windows and your imagination, you can turn an ordinary wall into a work of art. Create inviting places of beauty, light, and comfort with Andersen windows from Loft Homes Building Center, West US 2 in Norway. Loft Homes Building Center, proud to be part of our town.
Upper air pattern right now features a big old cold low pressure area. We've got the northwest flow, a trough of low pressure moving through. That's why we had the rain earlier. Big change is expected for Friday. Not really, though we do expect that low to actually back up a little bit to the west. And if anything, that'll drive the colder air further to the south. And if anything, we'll get a little bit cooler by the end of the week with another chance of showers. On the satellite view, we've got big thunderstorms down to the south around Houston, Texas. Lots of cold air clouds around that low-pressure area, spinning into the northern tier of states, the upper Great Lakes. All the warm, humid air south of this frontal system, that's where the thunderstorms are going on. Low pressure developing in the Ohio Valley. A steady rain to the north of this warm front. For us, it's just a few scattered showers developing during the afternoon in particular in our cold, unstable air. And I really don't expect all that much change. If anything, tomorrow, maybe a little less cloudiness, particularly in the east, where it was cloudy all day long. And if we get a little sun at this time of the year, you know, temperatures can soar. Up to the north, the next disturbance, pinwheeling around that upper air low to the north, could set off a few showers, particularly on Thursday. Back with the forecast and tonight's winners of the TV6 Big Boy weather stations in just a moment.
2 years, no interest at Chunk. Our new entranceway is almost done, and our new walls are up. But the biggest part of our remodeling is still to come. We have to recarpet, and that means everything in our showroom floor has to go. So you help us, and we'll help you with even better sell prices and no interest for 2 years. This sofa is now just $26 a month. This sofa is just $24 a month, with no interest for 2 years. Dining rooms, bedrooms, living rooms, everything's got to go so we can recarpet. So shop Chunk today.
Temperatures around the area, upper 40s to the middle 50s. 49 at the Marquette County Airport, 54 at Escanaba, only 49 at Menominee, 51 on the west end in Ironwood. And take a look at this. It's colder, low 40s, plenty of clouds still hanging on in the eastern UP around Sault Ste. Marie. Tonight for the north, clear to partly cloudy, and with the clear skies, if we have enough of them, it'll get down to about 29 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, recovering to 54. For the south, the clouds will hang on a little bit longer. Partly cloudy, a low of 33. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance of an afternoon shower, a high around 58. The extended forecast, temperatures remaining on the cool side, at least 10 degrees below normal, maybe more, 40s and 50s. Best chance of scattered showers coming up on Thursday into Friday. And again, even on Wednesday, tomorrow there could be a shower or two, but it looks like the least probability. Here's our winners tonight for the TV6 Big Boy weather stations. Of course, we've been drawing cards all month long, and it's not totally at random because I want to have some decision-making power in this. We're trying to even it out across the entire Upper Peninsula. First of all, Rita Lagerstead of Daggett in Menominee County, she won herself one of these TV6 Big Boy weather stations. Robert Jack of Germfast in Schoolcraft County. Andy Trepanier, I believe it is, of Loretto, that's in southern Dickinson County, and Beverly Lucas of Garden in Delta County. Won this handy-dandy TV6 big boy weather station. It'll take a while to get to you, but don't worry. It will, sooner or later.
So you'll be part of the TV6 Weather Network.
Yes, for the News Extra.
All right, thanks a lot, Carl. You know, it is time again for the TV6 News Extra Quiz question, and tonight we ask you to think back in mining history. When did the Ropes Gold Mine begin operations? Was it A, 1882, B, 1899, C, 1909, or D, 1948? Carl?
I thought right away, then I heard it, but I thought it, so I'll say it, 1882.
That's right. If you answered A, 1882, you're right. In fact, it was in October of that year that gold was starting to be mined at the Ropes Mine. It's had an open and closed past. The last time it was shut down was in September 1989. During its peak recently, though, it employed 97 people in 1985. The News Extra Quiz question is asked on the early news and answered during this time, Tuesday through Friday. And coming up tonight on the TV6 Late News with Greg Trick, we'll hear some of the preparations being made for this weekend's International Music Extravaganza in Marquette. Cheryl Karpinski with details on the Big Sing. Plus, we'll begin a special series of reports on the paper makers of Upper Michigan and Mike Ludlum Sports. All tonight on the Late News. Still to come on the TV6 News Extra, the Money Report. So stay with us.
This is Frank Allen of Sears & Lehman Brothers. Coming up on the Money Report, I'll be talking about foreign securities.
The First National Bank of Norway is proud to be part of a community that's grown together. The First National Bank of Norway has a strong commitment to the community, but their main priority is the customer. They're in business to see that people can continue to grow with the community, whether it's as simple as a car loan, or a loan for a new home, or a new business loan to help get you going. The First National Bank of Norway is doing their part to help keep Norway progressive. The First National Bank of Norway is proud to be part of our town. Family, friends, and hometown pride are just part of what makes our town, Norway, a great place to live. You can sense the pride and community involvement as soon as you walk into the Norway Health Mart Pharmacy. It's an independent pharmacy that's dedicated to taking care of your family and your friends. You'll find only the highest quality Health Mart merchandise at exceptional savings. And it's comforting to know that there's always a pharmacist available to help you. Norway Health Mart Pharmacy, proud to be a part of our town.
Hooper Stanaway Ford Mercury in Ishpeming has exactly what you're looking for, a straightforward deal on America's best-built cars and trucks. Now see Hooper Stanaway for great savings and rebates. Get a $400 rebate on a hot new Ranger pickup. Get $500 rebates on F-Series pickups and $500 rebates on Tempo and Taurus. See Hooper Stanaway for a $1,000 rebate on Aerostar vans and get a $1,500 rebate on Crown Victorias and Grand Marquis. Hooper Stanaway Ford Mercury, just west of Ishpeming on US 41.
Making the decision to invest is the first step in making your money work for you. But the second decision, that of where to put your hard-earned money, is sometimes more difficult. That's why we go to Frank Allen from Sears & Lehman Brothers in Marquette for a financial tip or two each Tuesday evening. And tonight, Frank has information on buying foreign securities in the Money Report.
On this evening's Money Report, I'd like to talk about foreign securities and suggest that they have a place in the portfolios of investors who want to take advantage of the changing economic and political situations overseas. And certainly while the concept of buying foreign securities may in fact be foreign to many Americans, it's an idea, I think, whose time has come. Many investment experts recommend placing as much as 5 or 10% of your total assets in foreign securities. And by the way, the U.S. stock market represents about 1/3 of the total value of the world's stock market. And since the movements of foreign stocks are not necessarily correlated to the movement of our own market, investing abroad can help you maximize your returns. Should you decide to invest internationally, there's a variety of ways to do it. But I think for the average investor, probably the most likely and most satisfying would be through mutual funds. International mutual funds would provide all of the advantages of U.S. funds, such as professional management, diversification, and liquidity, while seeking investment opportunities around the world. You can choose a fund that invests only in foreign securities if that's your desire. Those would typically be called international funds or foreign funds, but you can also choose a fund that has the ability to invest in U.S. securities as well as foreign securities, and that would be a global fund. Finally, when you invest in a global or international fund, you don't have the problem of converting dollars to purchase shares in foreign denominations. Also, you don't have to decide what gains you're liable to pay under U.S. law, because the mutual fund takes care of all of those things for you. For the Money Report, this is Frank Allen of Pearson Lane Brothers.
Thanks, Frank. Nearly a week has passed since the Sawyer Support Group and Michigan's political leaders made their pitch to the Base Closure and Realignment Commission downstate. But the fight to keep K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base is far from over. You can still have an impact on the Washington-based decision-makers who hold the fate of the base in their hands. Write to the chairman of the Defense Base Closure and Realignment Commission, James Corder, at 1700 North Moore Street, Suite 1425, Arlington, Virginia, 22209. Send a copy of your letter to Upper Michigan Congressman Bart Stupak at 317 Cannon, Washington, D.C. 20510. That's going to wrap up the show for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow night on the News Extra.
All family-owned businesses, the kind you find in any small town, but the kind that all support each other. But Norway also has some of its own unique industries, everything from bubblegum labels to catalogs to frozen food. Perry Norway is a subsidiary of Perry Printing, and here in our town they make more than 8 billion labels a year for things like bubblegum, motor oil, and dog food. But one area they specialize in is beer labels. Virtually any Miller product you buy anywhere in the U.S., its label came from Norway.
I think it's the fact that here in a small town community in Norway, which is what, maybe 3,500 people, the packaging that we produce here is literally consumed all over the world. I mean, we do labels for Japan and China and Australia and Europe, as well as obviously North America. And I think that's one of the unique things that comes out of here.
Another unique thing that comes out of the our town area is first-class paper. Champion International's Influence paper has been chosen many times over for special booklets, including recent Super Bowl programs. While Champion International has been an important part of our town, so is Northland Grocers. Norway is home to their huge warehouse, which provides merchandise to Northland stores across the UP and northern Wisconsin. For 47 years, Northland Grocers has been a part of our town's economy.
Economically, we have 70 employees, like I said in the beginning, and we have a tremendous outpour of wages in this general area, which does have a big impact within the district of Norway itself. Therefore, there's a lot of dollars that stay within this area, and I think that is a very crucial situation for Norway and the employees that are here, that we're able to have an impact on our city. And it is a very fine city as you will travel through Norway, offering a lot of neat and wonderful things to the Upper Peninsula.
The Northland Warehouse supplies just about everything its stores need, over 13,000 items. What we've shown is just some of the diversity you'll find in our town businesses. A successful business climate includes unique businesses like these, but also all the smaller ones we didn't show. Combined, all these businesses keep our town Norway someplace special to work. For the TV6 News Extra, I'm Deanna Hemela.
There is much more to our town Norway than we were able to show you in that particular report, but we do hope that it opened your eyes to UP industry that you may never have realized was around, and right here in our town Norway. When we come back after a short break on the News Extra, we head back to our town to meet artist Nancy Linton.
Recently, Chrysler invited over 5,000 potential car buyers to test drive the new Concord. Among them were demanding import owners. After personal scrutiny, the overwhelming majority of all respondents were won over by Concord with its revolutionary cab-forward handling. For your personal test drive, see your Chrysler Plymouth dealer, who has a new name for luxury import. Trade-in.
Your family deserves our finest, whether it's in our town, Norway, or anywhere in the UP or Northeast Wisconsin. We're Northland Food Stores, the home of value-priced, quality North Fried products, which include applesauce, canned vegetables, pastas, spaghetti sauce, flour, pickles, smoked hams, butter, and orange juice. Good quality, great price. If you've tried them, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't, find out what you're missing. North Fried products available only at your local Northland Food Store, where we're proud of our town, Norway. Tonight, it's a look at the Brady Bunch. Then, and now,
Jan Brady was the original Valley Girl.
Find out why it's not just a TV show, it's a phenomenon.
Marcia, Marcia, Marcia! I hated the clothes that we had to wear as a Brady Bunch. Far out. I really felt like a dork doing that song.
Florence Henderson hosts Brady Mania, a very Brady special.
Tonight on TV6.
You can rely on me. I'll never let you down.
Whatever little surprises life has in store for you, one thing you can always rely on is the cool comfort of a Tempstar air conditioner.
You can rely on me.
Call your Tempstar dealer for a free estimate. You'll appreciate no surprises from Bianco Plumbing and Heating, Lantz, and Lordy Plumbing and Heating, your Tempstar dealer in Crystal Falls.
As we found just about everywhere in the Upper Peninsula, our town Norway is full of artistic, creative people. We caught up with one Our Town painter, and tonight TV6's Deanna Hemela shares her story. Nancy Linton is not a Norway native, having moved from Chicago about 8 years ago, but she has grown to love our town. She shares with us tonight her inspiration and where it came from.
Nancy Linton never had any formal training as a painter. What she learned came from her father, the painter she most admired.
I sat at my dad's side most of the time as he painted. And he used to explain technique to me, color, light against dark, to get proper effects and to make sure you stand out. And you don't realize how much you're absorbing until you apply it.
Hank Linton painted in exquisite detail and vibrant color. His paintings fill the walls of Nancy's apartment and help inspire her.
My dad was a surrealist, and not only did he teach me how to apply the paint, he taught me how to think in surrealistic terms, which is very unusual, because I don't paint what I see. I like to paint ideas.
The painting she's working on now is about her father. When he died, she found a box of his stuff laying around and decided to create.
I saw the potential for creating a little figure in the things that were in that box. And he's kind of a happy figure. He looks like my dad in an odd sort of way. People who see this and knew my dad, they say, wow, that's Hank. So the ideas come at any time. They come in dreams. They come in my working hours. Sometimes I'll be driving and something will spark an idea. And then I have to go home and paint and draw it.
Nancy says she isn't out to make money off her painting. It's something she does just for herself.
It's very relaxing. It's therapeutic. I work 2 jobs and roughly about 75 hours in 1 week. And when I do have free time, I like to sit at the easel with my thoughts and run away.
For the TV6 News Extra, I'm Deanna Hemela.
While Nancy doesn't sell her paintings, her big dream is to eventually be a writer. Well, as you're headed down US 2 toward Norway from Iron Mountain, you'll notice some signs regarding the Norway Spring. It is on the Michigan Register of Historic Sites, and it's been a popular spot for years for tourists and locals alike looking to sample water from this man-made artesian well. Well, not only does it have appeal, but it also has an interesting history.
In 1870, 1876, a sawmill was erected on this site and was the first industry in the Norway Vulcan area. Owned by John O'Callahan, the mill supplied early mining lumber until 1902. The Norway Spring was created by a 1,094-foot hole drilled in 1903 by the Oliver Mining Company in search of iron ore. The hole cuts through several porous strata that trap water at the higher elevations to the north. The difference in elevation causes pressure, which is released by the hole, creating what is often called an artesian well. The Norway Spring is just west of Norway, between Norway and Quinnipiac. Stay with us for the news and the weather and the answer to tonight's quiz question. And then later on the News Extra, Greg Trick has a preview of this weekend's Marquette display of the AIDS quilt and its meaning to one Upper Michigan family.
Our town, Norway, is known for its friendliness, cleanliness, and for being a town that takes pride in a job well done. That's why so many car buyers find their way to Era Chevrolet. Era Chevrolet is just like Norway, friendly, clean, and with a service department that takes pride in taking care of your car. You'll find a fine selection, you'll get a good deal, and you can count on outstanding service when you deal with Era Chevrolet in Norway. Proud to be a part of our town.
Your garden grow with help from your friends at Snyder Drug. Our complete greenhouse is blooming with flowering plants ready to brighten your day. We also have flowering shrubs and ornamentals, bushes, trees, and grass. Plus, we've got all the tools and accessories to help you keep everything under your green thumb alive and well. The right brand, right now. Find it at Snyder Drug.
It's Jack's IGA Super Spring Anniversary Sale. Look in Monday's Mining Journal for all the great specials in every department. Assorted flavors of IGA Pop. It's just $2.99 a case. Sweet, juicy California strawberries are just 79 cents a pound. And absorbent so-dry paper towels are just 39 cents a roll. During the sale, register to win some really great prizes. For quality, service, and value, shop with your hometown friend at Jack's IGA of Marquette and Harvey.
Recently, an object was sighted.
It was big. It was just big.
Too big to measure with the human eye.
They say it could show up anywhere.
Whoa! Did you see that?
Open up! It's me!
Bigfoot from Pizza Hut.
Out of sight. Big.
2 square feet of pizza.
I can handle it.
For the special carry-out price of...
What?
Only $8.99. It's bigger than pizza. Bigfoot from Pizza Hut. A legendary value.
Good evening, everyone. Upper Michigan school officials held a joint press conference today to proclaim their support for Proposal A coming to the ballot June 2nd. School board presidents and superintendents from 8 school districts explain the new proposal and how it will benefit Upper Michigan students. They say the $4,800 per pupil expenditures will help create some equality between school funding in downstate and Upper Michigan districts. The schools also said property owners can expect a cut in millages anywhere from 31% to 48%. General Motors is asking for about $121 million in tax breaks for its planned engineering center in Pontiac. GM wants the city to reduce its property taxes by $115 million and personal taxes by $6 million over 14 years. Pontiac Mayor Wallace Holland says the request appears reasonable. GM executive Clifford Vaughn says the new center could bring up to 3,000 new jobs to the area and spur up to $200 million in new investments in Pontiac. A public hearing on the proposal is scheduled for June 7th. The relationship between logging and the environment was on the table today in the city of Marquette. A water quality plan released by the DNR asks loggers, foresters, and landowners to put more time and planning into their land management in order to protect lakes, rivers, and streams.
We need to do a better job of placing roads into the tracts of timber that we're going to be harvesting.
You just can't push a road in. You've got to put a little more gravel. You've got to spend more time ditching, thinking about where that water's going to go instead of just building the road the easiest place you can.
The recommendations are not mandated or required by law. However, there are state and federal regulations that must be followed. In Grand Rapids, Congressman Paul Henry has grown increasingly weak as he struggles with brain cancer. Henry underwent surgery last October to remove a 3-inch tumor from his brain. Aides for the congressman say Henry isn't talking of resigning, but he's also not talking of returning to Washington either. If Henry is unable to complete his term, a special election will be held. Wildlife experts say 3 coyotes have been spotted in Farmington, just outside of Detroit. DNR spokesman Tim Payne says the increase in sightings could stem from a larger coyote population. The coyotes feed on whatever small animals they can find, but there have been no reports of any attacks, and people should not be alarmed. And Carl Bonak is here with an update on the weather.
Well, the weather continues the same old, and I don't see too much happening here. We'll talk about the weather and what we expect the next few days. First of all, the high and low today at the Marquette County Airport.
So what's so special about Hardee's combos?
Hardee's has combos you can't get anywhere else.
For instance?
Hardee's Frisco Burger Combo. A big burger on sourdough bread plus fries and a soft drink.
I'll do a Hardee's Frisco.
But we have a chicken combo, Hardee's specially seasoned whole chicken breast filet sandwich.
Chicken is good.
Good. Then there's Hardee's tender roast beef or Hardee's juicy big deluxe combo.
All eat.
Our combos start at $2.99. Real food, real choices you can't get anywhere else.
Loft Homes Building Center is proud to be a part of the Norway community. Loft Homes is a full-service building center which serves the professional to the novice. You'll find anything you need for almost any project, including quality Andersen windows. With Andersen windows and your imagination, you can turn an ordinary wall into a work of art. Create inviting places of beauty, light, and comfort with Andersen windows from Loft Homes Building Center, West US 2 in Norway. Loft Homes Building Center, proud to be part of our town.
Norway is our town, and our town is where you'll find Steinbrecher Stone Corporation, serving the Upper Peninsula and northern Wisconsin area with 3 facilities, including Norway Granite and Marble. Monuments are personal chapters in the history of time. Norway Granite and Marble offers the largest and most beautifully designed monuments and markers suitable for most any budget. Call for more information, and let the professionals at Norway Granite and Marble help you express the spiritual harvest of a life well lived.
Stop by Butch Newman's Lawn and Garden Center in Iron Mountain and pick up the Western wear you want at a price you can afford. Check out the large selection of quality Stetson hats. You want a pair of cowboy boots? Butch Newman's has close to 1,000 pairs in stock with names like Tony Lama, Dingo, Durango, Capizio, and more. There's a pair to fit everyone in your family. Check out the great selection of Western shirts and blouses. Butch Newman's also has Australian Outback jackets in a variety of styles in stock. Butch Newman's Lawn and Garden Center of Iron Mountain, your Western wear outfitting headquarters.
Upper air pattern with the satellite view kind of shows you things quite well. We have a big trough of low pressure throughout the center portion of the country, a little southwest flow aloft here, bringing up some moisture, and that's with the heavier showers, thunderstorms, a little steadier rain further to the north, while we have a lot of what we call cold air clouds just to the south of the main jet stream. We'll show you what we mean. This morning's satellite view showed some scattered patches of clouds, but in general, at least some clear skies. But watch as we move up to the present time. With the heating from the sun working on that cold air aloft, we get a lot of these clouds to form. While we haven't had much in the way of shower activity at all across the Upper Peninsula today, down to the south in Wisconsin, there have been some showers, even reports of small hail around Madison, indicative of that cold air. Not too much change expected. We still have that big area of upper air low pressure sitting around Hudson Bay, spinning little disturbances at us, as well as sending us the cold air. Tomorrow, one of those disturbances will be moving on in. It looks like this will be the focus for some scattered showers across the Upper Peninsula, mainly during the afternoon. Temperatures similar to what they were today in the 50s, though it will be cooler, especially close to Lake Superior. Here's the upper air forecast for Saturday. The big upper low should still sit over Hudson Bay. Still a northwest flow across the upper peninsula. There's a possibility that the core of the coldest air could start slipping to the east, so we may moderate a little bit this weekend, but I'm not looking for any heat waves. Back with temperatures and tonight's winner of the TV6 Big Boy weather stations in just a moment.
Okay, rule 1. When you're buying a truck, more is better. Like Chevy full-size pickups can handle more standard payload than Ford F-150. More is better. Now, they also handle more maximum payload and last more years than Ford. Rule 1 again. But big option discounts mean you pay less, up to $1,400 less. Rule 2. Don't pay more, just get more. Get a full-size Chevy today at your Upper Michigan Chevy dealers.
Temperatures across the region in the 50s. 50 in Marquette, 54 at Iron Mountain and Escanaba, 53 at Menominee, really pretty uniform, 53 at Houghton and 52 at Ironwood. Tonight for the north, partly cloudy skies, low expected of 33. Tomorrow a chance of showers, a high of 52. For the south, partly cloudy, a low of 34 tonight, a chance of a couple of showers, variable cloudiness, a high of 54 for tomorrow. The extended forecast, still a chance of a shower, temperatures upper 40s to lower 50s on Friday. Then over the weekend, generally in the 50s, maybe a 60, especially down to the south, with a mix of clouds and sun Saturday, maybe lots of sun by Sunday. We could even touch the 60-degree mark in some spots by Monday. Here are the winners of tonight's TV6 Big Boy weather stations. We're not sending them out tonight, but we just want to let you know that you have won. Congratulations, NCO Osceola of Ispaming, Carol Johnson of Ironwood, Tony and Susie Izzo of Spread Eagle, and Dorothy Harrela of Copper City. You are the winners, proud winners of the TV6 Big Boy weather station. We have a facsimile of it here. Actually, this is the real thing, and we'll be shipping these out to you at the end of the month.
They'll be getting the real thing, though.
They'll be getting the real thing.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Carl. You ready for the news extra question,
I am.
by the way? All right. Our question tonight was, what year did the NMU football team win a national championship? Was it 1968, 1975, 1982, or 1955?
I think it was 1975.
Oh, how right you are. That's the correct answer. As you may recall, Green Bay Packer quarterback coach Steve Mariucci was the quarterback for the Wildcats back then. They beat Western Kentucky 16-14 in Sacramento, California. Well, coming up tonight on the TV6 Late News, Senator Carl Levin talks about the future of the U.S. auto industry, plus more from area school officials and how they feel about Proposal A. And Glenn Gresham has the second part of his series, The Papermakers. Also, Mike Counter Sports tonight on the TV6 Late News. When we return on the News Extra, how quilt making is helping to increase AIDS awareness.
The Norway Vulcan Kiwanis Club has been a part of our town, Norway, since 1975. Each year, our fundraising dollars are used primarily towards providing programs for the youth of our community. Programs such as sponsoring a tea club and youth in government, drug counseling, and Project DARE in our schools. Outside of the classroom, we sponsor Little League Baseball, Pee Wee Hockey, and Scouting. The Norway Vulcan Kiwanis is a 31-member service club that is proud to be a part of our town, Norway.
A message from Champion International.
Absolutely nothing until spring of 1994. Stop, think about it. No payments, no interest, till spring 94 on hundreds of items at American. Every home and car stereo, no payments, no interest, till spring of 94. All camcorders and larger screen TVs, every washer and dryer. No payments, no interest, till spring of 94. Canon and IBM computers, every sofa and bedroom, all kinds of furniture. No payments, no interest, till spring of 1994. Only at American. Pay absolutely nothing till spring of 1994.
Family, friends, and hometown pride are just part of what makes our town Norway a great place to live. You can sense the pride and community involvement as soon as you walk into the Norway Health Mart Pharmacy. It's an independent pharmacy that's dedicated to taking care of your family and your friends. You'll find only the highest quality Health Mart merchandise at exceptional savings. And it's comforting to know that there's always a pharmacist available to help you. Norway Health Mart Pharmacy, proud to be a part of our town.
Upper Michigan residents will have the opportunity to view part of the 22,000-panel quilt put together to memorialize the people who have died of AIDS. Tonight on the News Extra, Greg Trick has a preview of the quilt display and the story of one family putting together a panel to commemorate their loved ones lost to the deadly disease.
For Christina Gudovich, the AIDS quilt coming to Marquette has special significance. Nearly 2 years ago, Christina lost her brother Patrick to AIDS. Today, Christina, along with family and friends, are putting together a quilt panel in memory of Patrick.
Although we knew he was going to die for a long time and we all had ample time to say goodbye, you never feel like you get enough. So this is one more way we can all say our last words to Pat.
The quilt panel is made up of several personal and emotional messages from those who loved Patrick. The panel will then become part of the named Project AIDS Memorial Quilt, joining more than 22,000 other panels from across the world.
This is a way we can all express anything we want, whether it be happy thoughts, angry thoughts, sad, glad, you know, forgiving, whatever it is. This is an opportunity for everyone to have feelings and let them be known. So it's really important. It's a healing process, I think.
Patrick Taylor was a hemophiliac who contracted the AIDS virus from a tainted blood supply. When he was first diagnosed, Christina says the family didn't want the word to get out for fear of how people in the community might react.
Patrick didn't want anybody to know because he was fearful for our safety. Having AIDS in the UP was a very scary thing. He was afraid to tell anyone. He was afraid that, you know, his sister wouldn't be able to go to the public schools, and although he didn't care what happened to him, you know, it was fearful. He was fearful, I think, for everybody else.
As Christina puts the finishing touches on the quilt panel in memory of Patrick, she says she can only hope it'll bring more attention to the AIDS issue.
It's nothing people did wrong to deserve this disease. So bringing the quilt here, I think, is really important. That a lot of people from small communities think, oh, that's just a disease that happens in the city. But it's not.
This Sunday, Christina and her family will present their quilt panel in Marquette, which will eventually become part of the thousands of other quilt panels as a memorial to those who have died from AIDS. Reporting for the TV6 News Extra, I'm Greg Trick.
The AIDS quilt will be on display at Northern Michigan University's Forrest Roberts Theater beginning Friday and continuing through Sunday. That's going to wrap up this edition of the TV6 News Extra. Tune in again tomorrow night for the final installment of our reports on Jerry Cousineau's triple bypass surgery, and you'll see how he's doing with his at-home rehabilitation. Plus, we continue with our salute to our town, Norway, with a behind-the-headlines look at the UP's oldest weekly newspaper, the Norway Current. And we'll get an up-close look at Pierce Gorge, another Norway area attraction. Until then, have a great evening. Good night.
The following program is a paid commercial broadcast. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of WLUC TV management.
How would you like to have a low-interest credit card of 9.25%? Cut your car insurance premiums in half. Make your vacations tax deductible. Save over $50,000 on your home mortgage. Sound too good to be true? Not at all. Who says so? Charles J. Gibbons, author of the best-selling financial books of all time, Wealth Without Risk and Financial Self-Defense, and now of the most recent bestsellers, More Wealth Without Risk, and in Canada, Wealth Without Risk for Canadians. Meet Charles J. Gibbons, president of the largest financial planning organization in the world, the Charles J. Gibbons Organization, with over 400,000 members. He and his strategies have been featured on every major television show, including Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, Sally Jeffrey Raphael, Larry King, Geraldo, and many others. Although he started out with nothing, now he is accustomed to moving in the circles of power.
Today, I own 46 companies, including 2 banks, 3 radio stations, a television production company, one of Florida's largest real estate development companies. We build shopping centers, office buildings. But what I really love to do most is teach people about money. That's what gives me my sense of fulfillment.
What you're about to learn concerning money will amaze you, even shock you, and might well make you angry. But one thing is certain, the next 30 minutes will put you in the position to become a lot wealthier this year. But where do you start to muddle through the mire of mutual funds, money markets, IRAs, KIOs? You'd think you'd need an MBA. Well, you can start by listening to the strategies of Charles J. Gibbons. Gibbons developed a series of solid strategies that are both plainly spoken and guaranteed to make any nest egg a golden one. His motivation? Simple. To share the wealth of knowledge so others don't have to go through the wealth-building traumas that he did. Today, according to publications like Venture Magazine and USA Today, Charles Gibbons is worth more than $100 million. And, says Gibbons, whether that's your goal or whether you simply want to increase the spending power of your paycheck, it's within your reach.
The hardest thing I ever did was making my first $1 million. It took me 25 years. The easiest thing I ever did was to make the second million, third million, the fourth million. Because once you know how to do it, it's just like playing the piano or playing the tennis. Once you get that ball over the net, you can get it over almost every time.
The first hurdle is coming face to face with your financial fears. Some of the most familiar ones are, will I be able to be independent in my senior years? How will I ever provide my children with the optimum college?
With most newspapers. But we work with a very loyal bunch of readers. They're very good to us. It's just unbelievable. We've done a lot of things since we took it over. We started putting color pages into it. This week we had 2 colors, which was a first for us. They're blue on the outside and red on the inside. But our readers, I think, is probably the most important thing.
Jerry Underhill and his wife Vicki are the faces behind the headlines in the Norway Current and put together the paper every week. From ad layout to writing to photography, they do it all, focusing on the people and the local community.
Our top 10 at the school, this school class has written the presidents, and they got some stuff back from President Clinton. Put some pictures there. That one I got to shoot over, that one's a little blurry. And this little boy right there, he'll be our front page story next week. He saved his brother's life. We focus on Norway, what affects Norway, Vulcan, Loretto, which is our readership, basically. We have about 200 subscriptions to go into Iron Mountain, but basically our focus is this area. The Daily News in Iron Mountain does the county information and that kind of stuff. So we're not really in competition with them so much as we're concerned with what's going on here, the meetings, what's going on in the school, what's happening, the different lodge organizations, or the people, that kind of thing. To us, the people are the most important thing, and we really have to get out that people emphasis.
Lay them out by hand. There you go. That was already, I cut that out already earlier.
All we have to do here now is to copy and proof it, and once they approve it, we'll lay it down on the ad, and they page it here. It's fun. It's a unique situation. A lot of people ask us, or a lot of people ask, what it's like to work with your wife, you know, because you're living with them and then you're working with them in a strictly work atmosphere. To me, it's a lot easier. Because, you know, certain things can be filtered, and you can kind of criticize sometimes or discuss some things in a way which you really couldn't do with a normal employee type of thing.
The Norway Current goes out every week to about 1,200 local residents, but the paper's readership goes far beyond that.
And it's about another 150 to 200 to go all over the world. It's incredible. We have subscribers in Japan and England. We had one in Africa, a couple in Hawaii. I've always wanted to go out and make sure the papers are delivered properly in Hawaii. But it's just amazing. It's all over the world. It really is. And you never know what you're going to put in here that will strike somebody, that will seem really, wow, I saw it in the Current. It's really fantastic.
In Norway, this is Scott Zerble reporting for the TV6 News Extra.
And the News Extra owes a special thank you to Larry Underhill and his wife Vicki for their help in putting together this story and others for our town, Norway. Up next tonight on the TV6 News Extra, the final installment in our month-long look at open heart surgery. Tonight, you'll see what's involved in at-home rehab.
2 years, no interest at Junk. Our new entranceway is almost done, and our new walls are up. But the biggest part of our remodeling is still to come. We have to recarpet, and that means everything in our showroom floor has to go. So you help us, and we'll help you with even better sale prices and no interest for 2 years. This sofa is now just $26 a month. This sofa is just $24 a month, with no interest for 2 years. Dining rooms, bedrooms, living rooms, everything's got to go so we can recarpet. So shop junk today.
Mom, we're out of toilet paper! Mom, we need more toilet paper! Mom, toilet paper!
If you're constantly changing your bathroom tissue, change to new Kleenex Double Roll Bathroom Tissue. It takes 2 rolls of other premium brands to make 1 roll of Kleenex because our smaller hole lets us double the roll. And less changing gives you 1 less thing to worry about.
Mom, we're out of milk!
New Kleenex Double Roll. You'll love it more because you'll change it less.
When's the last time you were in Norway? When's the last time you were in our town? It's where you'll find Norway Video, your one-stop video store with video rentals, Genesis games, and hand-dipped ice cream. Lefebvre Oil Company of Norway has been serving Upper Michigan and northeastern Wisconsin with pride and with quality products for over 20 years. The Norway Community Credit Union is your community credit union. And Charlie's Hilltop Grocery and Bait Shop features bait and tackle plus arts and crafts. All part of Norway, part of our town.
To demonstrate how Subway's dropping the price of our 6-inch cold cut combo, I'm going to bungee cord drop off this bridge. The 700-foot vertical drop gives me ample time to remind you Subway has the freshest tasting sandwiches anywhere because we bake our own bread, cut our own vegetables, and make sandwiches fresh before your eyes. And now with this price drop, our cold cut combo is just $1.49. Thanks. You're welcome.
The 6-inch cold cut combo, $1.49 at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
It's been nearly a month since 50-year-old Jerry Cousineau had triple bypass surgery, and as that procedure becomes more routine, so does the recovery. In fact, Jerry is doing his rehabilitation at home with some instructions from his doctors. Tonight, in the final report that we have here on the TV6 News Extra on open heart surgery, we check Jerry's progress in the segment we call Up on Health.
I feel good, and I can get out and walk. I don't have to stop and rest anymore. All the chest pains that you used to get are gone.
And according to his doctors, it looks like things will stay that way, at least for the immediate future, because of triple bypass surgery.
You always have to live with it because the operation is a treatment. It's not a cure for the disease. The basic disease is atherosclerotic heart disease, which is the accumulation of plaques and blockages in his coronary arteries, and that disease will progress. The only way he can modify it is possibly by diet, some lifestyle changes. But, you know, it's your basic hereditary, your basic family pedigree that kind of exposes you to the risk of the disease.
You can stop smoking, you can watch your diet, you can take care of your diabetes, and so forth, but the non-modifiable risk factors, thing, your family history, you can't do much about, unfortunately.
Although Jerry may be fighting an uphill battle because of his family's history with coronary heart disease, he's giving it his best shot, already working on his at-home rehabilitation program.
There's about 10 different kinds they got. When you do that before you go for a walk and a warm-up period. And then when you get done, and then when you come back, then you do them over for a cool-down period.
Diet is another area where Jerry has had to make some modifications, but because he and his wife own a restaurant, implementing some of those changes may come a little bit easier.
Like chicken, fish, fruits, and stuff like that, and I did like all that stuff. So I really didn't have that much of a change to make. And
Jerry may be able to be back at work in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and from the outside looking in, things for the Cousineaus seem to be back to normal. But the element of fear is likely to stay with them for quite a while.
It was a scary time. I just had a lot of doubts that things were going to go as well as they did. But Jerry was more confident than me. But I'm kind of a worrywart to start with.
If you're the type that puts off going to the doctor, even in as serious a situation as chest pains, Jerry says you'd better think again.
If they be checked and go in and have it done, because it will make your life a lot longer. And so I'd highly recommend it if a person needed it.
Thanks to Jerry Cousineau and his family for allowing the News Extra to follow them through the emotional ups and downs of Jerry's open heart surgery, and for being so candid along the way about the concerns and fears of the experience. And we wish you all the best. We also owe a word of thanks to Marquette General Hospital for all their cooperation in helping us arrange this series, and a special thanks to Rebecca Innes. When we continue with this Thursday night edition of the TV6 News Extra, we head back to our town, Norway, for a look at the beauty of Pierce Gorge, right after the news and the weather.
Norway is our town, and our town is where you'll find some of the UP's best-kept lawns and gardens, thanks to the Coast to Coast store. The Coast to Coast store features a complete lawn and garden center with tools, fertilizer, hoses, and dependable Mastercraft mowers. Right now, the Norway Coast to Coast store has this 12.5 horsepower Mastercraft riding mower loaded with features including electric start on sale for just $10.99. Other Mastercraft mowers are also available on sale at the Coast to Coast store in Norway. Proud to be a part of our town.
Danielson's Greenhouse in our town, Norway. It's the biggest greenhouse north of Green Bay. With 13 greenhouses and a full-service flower shop, Danielson's can provide any plants from exotics to vegetables, from trees to shrubs. With 30 employees to serve you, including a professional flower designer, Danielson's Greenhouse has what you're looking for. They also have a full landscaping service to design and build that perfect look for your home or business. Open from 8 till 8, 7 days a week since 1939, Danielson's Greenhouse, where it's always spring in our town, Norway.
The First National Bank of Norway is proud to be part of a community that's grown together. The First National Bank of Norway has a strong commitment to the community, but their main priority is the customer. They're in business to see that people can continue to grow with the community, whether it's as simple as a car loan, or a loan for a new home, or a new business loan to help get you going. The First National Bank of Norway is doing their part to help keep Norway progressive. The First National Bank of Norway is proud to be part of our town.
In our town, Norway, Safari Farm Pet Center always has the best prices on tropical fish, colorful birds, and pet supplies in the Upper Peninsula. Right now, get 2 adorable lovebirds plus fly cage and starter kit for only $160. Lovable parakeets at $11.98 each, plus a 10% discount on all tropical fish. Let Safari Farm and Pet Center's friendly and courteous staff answer all your questions and help you get set up with a pet that's right for you at a price you can afford. Safari Farm and Pet Center open 7 days a week next to OK Auto in our town, Norway.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Asplin. Here's what's happening in the news. A Wayne County judge has issued a preliminary injunction against Michigan's ban on assisted suicide. The American Civil Liberties Union is challenging the ban, saying it violates the right to privacy. The judge's ruling says the ban cannot be enforced until the judge renders a full decision after hearing more testimony. The suit was filed by 4 people. 2 of them are terminally ill. The Upper Peninsula will have to wait another year before the Great Lakes State Games make their return. The games have been postponed until 1994. The competition made a successful return last year, but a lack of funding means the games won't take place this summer. The first Great Lakes State Games were held in 1987 and were state-funded, but last year the games were totally funded by the private sector. Organizers say they're willing to wait an extra year to make sure they have enough funding to conduct the best state games possible next year. A 32-year-old Ishpeming man was sentenced today to 2 to 15 years in prison for sexually abusing his 13-year-old stepdaughter. Mark Moore reportedly began abusing the victim just 6 weeks after marrying her mother. Those in the courtroom today were extremely emotional, among them friends, family, and victims' rights advocates.
I think it's not alone from presenting the suggestion that a court can somehow influence by having people here to perhaps suggest to the court what an appropriate sentence might be.
Part of my reason for being here today was not to put pressure on Judge Cornell, which was one of his concerns, but instead to show support for this young woman and her family.
Moore will begin serving his sentence Friday morning. There's legislation pending in Lansing that would do away with parts of Michigan's item pricing law, allowing retailers to post prices only on shelves. That's the topic of tonight's TV6 News poll question. Should all retail items be individually priced? If yes, then call the yes line at 1-900-370-3150. If no, then call 1-900-370-3151. Each call will cost you 89 cents, with the proceeds going to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Upper Michigan. Results will be given on tonight's TV6 Late News. There won't be any surprises in Escanab's proposed budget for 1994. The City Council is expected to pass a hold-the-line budget of just over $18 million during regular session tonight. But the possible passage of Proposal A on June 2nd could reflect a loss in revenue and a possible millage increase for the city later in the year. TV6's Escanaba Bureau reporter Polly Flinders will have more on tonight's late news. Also, like something out of Little House on the Prairie, 6th grade students from Lake Linden-Hubble decked out today in their turn-of-the-century clothes. The group had been studying the time period and, like the students at Lake Linden-Hubble have been doing annually, pulled them out slates and drank from mason jars to play the old role.
He's really like how people used to eat in what the classrooms are like and stuff.
What do you like about this day over any other school day?
Well, this day you get to dress up in the clothes that you like, and you get to go to the museum and go in the old schoolhouse.
The teacher says this is one way to learn about the turn of the century, a way the kids will probably never forget. And they didn't predict much weather back in those days.
No, they didn't.
Kind of looked off to the horizon.
Looked off to the horizon. They knew the clouds. They knew the wind directions, and that's how they did it.
And now we use computers.
You bet. They're a little more accurate now, believe me.
Oh, wow.
Take a look at all the sailors that went down in the Great Lakes. We'll pass along our more accurate forecast. First of all, the high and low today at the Marquette County Airport.
Beautiful. Chrysler. Your kid has a prototype. The Chrysler Concorde made the automotive press rave. With features like dual airbags and new cab forward design that gives it remarkable handling. Now the Concorde is available to everyone. And how well does the production car stack up against the prototype? One critic said it all. See if you agree. Test drive the new Concorde today.
The right brand, right now. Find it at Snyder Drugs. How does your garden grow? With help from your friends at Snyder Drugs. Our complete greenhouse is blooming with flowering plants ready to brighten your day. We also have flowering shrubs and ornamentals, bushes, trees, and grass. Plus, we've got all the tools and accessories to help you keep everything under your green thumb alive and well. The right brand, right now. Find it at Snyder Drugs.
Norway is our town, and our town is where you'll find the wild and rugged Piers Gorge. It's a wonderful place to spend some time enjoying the beauty of nature. Nature's beauty is also found in the products of Sturgeon Millworks and Lumber Company. Sturgeon Millworks products are distributed to leading local lumber yards in Upper Michigan and northern Wisconsin. Norway is also the home of Peter J.W. Kivisari, attorney at law, who's pleased to be a part of Norway, a part of our town.
When it comes to service for the community, UP Engineers and Architects knows what it's like to be proud of our town, Norway. From major water improvement projects to designing the community's new bank, UP Engineers and Architects meets the varying conditions of each project with a professional and support staff of over 80 people in 4 offices across the UP. UP Engineers and Architects is a local firm, and our staff is committed to improving the quality of life in Upper Michigan and in our hometown, our town, Norway.
Radar currently shows little showers over the central UP. Kind of misleading looking at this radar because it was really coming down for a while at TV6 in the Marquette County Airport. These showers moving on through should be dissipating as we head into the evening. A satellite image, a wide view of the United States, shows our cold air clouds over the northeastern part of the country, while out to the west, brighter clouds associated with some thunderstorms just starting to develop in the Rockies. Here's the weather systems, high pressure out in the plains, a much sunnier day through places like North and South Dakota into Nebraska, but still no heat, temperatures generally in the 60s, while out to the west, our next low moving in through the northern Rockies. We'll be watching it as it treks to the east over the next couple of days. This high will be moving to the east too, and as this high moves to the east, I think we'll start to see more sunshine tomorrow, especially in the western and central sections of the Upper Peninsula. While off to the west, the first signs of a returning moisture, some showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms developing down in Kansas. By the time we get into Sunday, here's how the upper air is forecast to look. Looks like a trough will be forming in the central plains. Southwest flow could bring in some showers. We'll keep an eye on this. There's a chance that this whole system will stay down to our south. Back with temperatures and also the winners tonight for our big boy TV6 weather stations in just a moment.
So what's so special about Hardee's combos?
Hardee's has combos you can't get anywhere else.
For instance?
Hardee's Frisco Burger Combo. A big burger on sourdough bread plus fries and a soft drink.
I'll do a Hardee's Frisco.
But we have a chicken combo, Hardee's specially seasoned whole chicken breast filet sandwich.
Chicken is good.
Good. Then there's Hardee's tender roast beef or Hardee's juicy big deluxe combo.
Some
all
eat.
Our combos start at $2.99. Real food, real choices you can't get anywhere else.
Temperatures across the area at 60 at Iron Mountain, with the rain falling at the airport, only 51, 52 at Houghton, and down to the south, 54 at Escanaba, 58 in Menominee. Tonight for the north, showers ending, a low of 38. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 60, but quite a bit cooler close to Lake Superior. For the south, tonight showers ending, a low of 38. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, and a high of 62. I think it'll be a little bit cooler close to Lake Michigan. The extended forecast, quite a bit of sun on Saturday, the way it looks. Temperatures in the 60s, but cooler near the Great Lakes. And then that chance of showers. We've only put a little rain in the forecast right now because, again, that system could stay down to our south with more clouds. I think temperatures will be held in the 50s for late in the weekend into early next week. And here are our winners tonight for the TV6 Big Boy weather stations. First of all, Cynthia Ricca of Menominee, Sharon Stiefenbeiner of Cooks, Mr. and Mrs. Paul Pichette of Lake Linden, and Clarence Patterson of Skaney. You've won yourself this Big Boy weather station.
Yeah, that'll come in handy. Right now, we would have probably gotten how much rain in the rain gauge?
Probably about this much.
That much?
Yes.
Probably a little under an inch.
It came down, or much under. It came down quick, but
yeah, it
didn't last very long.
The puddle's out there a little deeper than an inch.
We'll check it out.
All right, now it's time for the TV6 News Extra quiz, and we went back in aviation history to ask this question. Who was the creator of America's top performance airplanes, the U-2 and SR-71? Was it Charles Boeing, Christopher Cockerell, Kelly Johnson, or Floyd Bennett? Carl, your choice.
Bono, U2, man. Bono? He's the lead singer of U2.
U2, no.
Oh.
Carl, its answer is C, Kelly Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Johnson is a native of the UP, and he was born in Ishpeming on February 27, 1910. Kelly Johnson passed away on December 21st, 1990. And besides the SR-71 and U-2, he also designed the XP-80 Shooting Star. And by the way, Cockerell was the first person responsible with reinventing the air-cushioned vehicle, or hovercraft, in the 1950s. He was a British engineer, and Floyd Bennett was a U.S. aviator who piloted Richard Byrd on the first flight over the North Pole in May 1926. Well, some little trivia there. Tonight on the TV6 Late News, we'll have a report on the Escanaba City Council and their efforts to pass a budget for next year. Also, Glenn Gresham has part 3 of his series, The Papermakers, and Mike Counter with the Sports Spotlight. Those stories and much more tonight on the Late News with Greg Trick. As we continue our celebration of our town, Norway, we'll bring you the sights and sounds of beautiful Piers Gorge. Stay tuned to the News Extra.
This summer offer is brought to you by Pepsi. Empty 5 ice-cold bottles, save the caps, and get $10 off Reebok footwear and apparel. Just like the big guy wears.
Only 4 more to go.
Tonight on Matlock,
Which judge you call a jackass this time?
when a stubborn judge investigates an assassination.
I've been framed because somebody wants me off my commission. Ben, please, will you take my case?
Hell freezes over.
A small town heats up.
It's leading to pornography, and it's gangsters, and it's dangerous. She used to be such a nice little town.
A special 2-hour Matlock movie, The Assassination.
Tonight on TV6.
Polar Dairy on Pine Creek Road in Norway is a full-service dairy, serving the Norway area with the highest quality dairy products and the freshest milk available. Look for the first name and freshness, Polar Dairy, and if you don't see it, ask for it. The Corner House Family Restaurant features breakfast, lunch, and dinner with a variety of daily specials and specialized in home-style Italian food. For a meal that tastes better than homemade, why not stop by the Corner House Family Restaurant? Polar Dairy and the Corner House Family Restaurant, proud to be part of our town.
One of the aspects of the Upper Peninsula that makes it stand out from other locales is its abundance of natural beauty. In our town, Norway, home of Pierce Gorge, people are attracted throughout the summer to raft, canoe, or even kayak the rapids. There's also a fair number of people who go just to take in the beauty and power of the gorge. We will wrap up our salute to our town, Norway, tomorrow night on the TV6 News Extra with a look at what facilities are in place for medical care. And you'll meet a man better known by his nickname, Digger. You'll also find out how he keeps his spirits up doing a job most of us wouldn't want, digging graves. But as we leave you tonight, we'll take one more look at Norway. You haven't heard much this week about the children of our town, but the TV6 News Extra stopped by the Norway Elementary School recently to see what goes on during the course of the day, especially at recess time. And it seems that the order of the day is to have fun.
A combined effort to establish ORV trails on the next Discovering.
I have a friend that's about to get married. They're having the bachelor party and the bridal shower the same day. So it's conceivable that while she's getting lingerie, he'll be at a nude bar watching a table dancer in the same outfit. That is possible. But to me, the difference between being single and being married is the form of government. You see, when you're single, you are the dictator of your own life. I have complete power. When I give the order to fall asleep on the sofa with the TV on in the middle of the day, no one can overrule me. When you're married, you are part of a vast decision-making body. Before anything gets done, there are meetings. Committees have to study the situation. And this is if the marriage works. I think that's what's so painful about divorce. You've been impeached, you weren't even the president.
So, you get my memo?
I'm looking for a memo. It's at 3 o'clock. What time is the 3 o'clock scheduled for now? Let's get untangled. Meeting? What meeting?
late.
We reschedule at 2:30 to 4. I don't think you know what you're doing.
4 o'clock.
Oh. Go in and check. Don't guess, please.
It's a revolution.
It's natural-looking hair color with incredible shine. New casting tone-on-tone colorant from L'Oreal.
It doesn't just color, it brightens.
Just twist the applicolor. Simple, gentle as can be, with no ammonia. Casting lets color look natural. Brilliant. It even blends away gray.
Casting, you won't believe how it feels, how it lasts. You won't believe it till you try it.
New casting tone-on-tone colorant from L'Oreal.
Hair color with brilliance.
This is your world, genuine and true. You're the one who keeps coming through, 'cause you're giving it your best.
This unit is a part of the past. The hospital is still providing a necessary service to the surrounding community.
We have 14 inpatient beds that provide medical care, not surgical services, but medical care to people of all ages. We do have a level 3 emergency room. That means we have a physician on call within 30 minutes of the hospital, so we do see a lot of emergencies. We have a lab that's open 6 days a week. We have x-ray here that's here 5 to 6 days a week. And we have physical therapy that is here as needed. We plan on at least an hour a day, but if the need increases, there will be here more than that. And we do that in conjunction with Dickinson County Hospital in Iron Mountain. The services are planned and scheduled together.
Although Anderson is part of Dickinson County Memorial, it serves to provide those east of Iron Mountain one additional option to medical care, one they welcome with open arms.
The community support for this place is phenomenal. They see it as their hospital. The doctors are well loved that are in this area. They're very loyal, and they support this place. They do go to Iron Mountain for those services that we don't have here, but they will come back here for anything that we have to offer.
Anderson Memorial Hospital is anything but a new kid on the block. It's been a vital part of Norway for over 40 years and has always been a part of the Dickinson County Memorial Hospital system. And as of this past January, Anderson is taking a leading role in meeting some of the needs of area residents through a new respite care program.
It's amazing, but there are a lot of elderly people who live at home with their families. We tend to think everybody goes to a nursing home, but that's not true. A lot of them are living at home with their families. Family needs to go away for a while, whether it's a wedding, a weekend, or whatever. Maybe they need a break. And this is a perfect place to bring someone for a short-term basis. They get supervised care under the direction of licensed staff. They get their meals and linens, and we're in the process of remodeling, and once we get that done, we will have volunteers come in who will do programs with them. So that has been a very nice asset to this hospital and has served the community well, not just Norway, but our whole service area.
From respite care to emergency room treatment to routine tests, patients at Anderson Memorial Hospital say it's the personalized care here that makes our town, Norway, someplace special.
You know, when I was here and had my children, by the time it was time to leave, these people knew my name, and I had to come back for different tests, and they remembered me. I mean, I've had 3 children here, and I've been more than satisfied with the care.
We'll continue with a final look at our town, Norway, in a moment, with a profile of a fellow area residents have come to know as diggers.
Like old man Eklund used to say, count 'em. 1. When I throw 100, little boy, you throw 100.
The beautiful New Briar Supper Club features quality products and wines from Michigan. Dining is open evenings with nightly specials and is closed on Mondays. New Briar is famous for business meetings, banquets, and receptions with accommodations to serve up to 500 people with catering available for any special occasion. Dine and enjoy the spectacular view of the Mount Briar ski slope. The New Briar Supper Club, located atop Mount Briar, 1 mile off US 2 in Norway. Dine with us tonight. New Briar Supper Club, proud to be part of our town.
When you're in our town, Norway, make sure you stop at the Norway Dairy Queen. They've got a complete line of hot food from burgers to grilled chicken, fries to deep-fried mushrooms. Then complete your meal with one of their delicious desserts. Sundays, peanut butter parfaits, banana splits, or one of 15 Blizzard flavor treats. For a special occasion, try one of the frozen Dairy Queen cakes, and if you're 60 or older, ask for a senior discount card. Open 7 days a week, Dairy Queen is just one of the many businesses that make our town, Norway, special.
There's always something to do in our town, Norway. For example, you can enjoy an entire season of golf at Bombers Golf Course, located just 2 miles south of Norway, when you take delivery of any new Pontiac from Lafreniere Motor Company of Norway, the Midwest's oldest Pontiac franchise. Watch for details for this summer's hole-in-one contest to win a new Pontiac from Lafreniere's. Lafreniere's challenges you to try to find a better deal on a Pontiac anywhere in the UP. Bombers Bar and Golf Course and Lafreniere Motors. 2 more good reasons Norway is our town.
When visiting our town, Norway, there's great news for collectors or anyone searching for that unforgettable North Country gift. Northern Expressions of Norway has just what you're looking for. Our highly collectible Bradford Exchange plates are now available in wildlife, Native American, and environmental subjects by some of America's top artists. We also carry North Country handcrafts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and books. For the best choice in all types of Bradford Exchange treasures and gifts of all kinds, visit Northern Expressions at the stoplight in Norway.
All this week on the News Extra, we've brought you the sights and sounds of our town, Norway. And tonight, to cap off the special reports, we introduce you to a man whose job you probably wouldn't want. For the better part of his life, Billy Wenzel, also known as Digger, has been preparing the final resting place for Norway area residents. And while we all deal with specific pressures that accompany our jobs, diggers are a little different. And tonight, Scott Zerbel shows us how Digger takes a job that might lead to cynicism for some and adds his own personal touch.
Like old man Eklund used to say, count them. 1, when I throw 100, little boy, you throw 100.
Billy Wenzel has dug more than 5,000 graves in his lifetime. He has thrown hundreds of thousands of shovel loads of dirt while at the Norway Cemetery, a job he started over 55 years ago.
April 1st, 1937. Same like it is right now, only it was raining, just like it is now. April Fool's Day. All the old-fashioned way, which it ain't too much improved by yet, you know. But, like I said, it was only a wheelbarrow and a shovel and a pick and you know, everything was the hard way, you know. And weather, they got to go in every kind of weather and all that stuff like that.
Although technological advances have helped make many jobs much easier, Billy still believes the best way to dig a grave is with a shovel.
Well, I wouldn't say it's faster, but when you're done, you're done. You got not a mark. You go over there, look where we were yesterday. You can't even tell there's a funeral there. See, right there. Can't even tell where them flowers are over there. A friend, you kind of felt it a little bit, or something like that. You kind of felt it a little bit until you figured, you know. But as soon as you started digging, something about it that it seemed like it just, you kind of ignored it, I guess, or something like that. Just passed it over as far as a day's work or something like that. Even when my relations and stuff like that, they died, it got so you done it because they say, oh, he knows how. Then you hear a lot of people say, I hope you're there when I die, you know, so you dig my hole. Well, you know, and I know, somebody's going to step in here one of these days because it's good closer than you think. And you just pass it off and say, okay, I'll remember. But the Swedes give you a little trouble because there's lots of Andersons and Johnsons and Petersons with the same name, so they'll slow you up. But if you go by a nickname, well, then you know, certain people have nicknames, you know, like we have plenty of them down here, some dandies. So that's how we go by. I think there's more nicknames around here than any place. 2 little pegs in there. Just the woman is in bad shape, too. They're both in a home. It'd have been better off, I hate to say it, you know, but if she'd have went first, you could have followed him. Now, if she dies in the middle of winter, we got to give 2 in. There's one there, and this one, we got to get down in that one. And that is not going to be an easy chore. And like I said, only once in a while, if somebody's touchy, you know, like for instance, he's here one day and the next day he's dead. It kind of, you know, like I had an old fellow here the other day. He was 89 years old. He'd come 2 days before he come, he said, will you cut my grass? He said, it's a little long. And that was, I guess, one on Thursday. Sunday, he was dead. See? So, and it's just one of those things, you know. You kind of miss the old guy, because he's here all the time. He'd come every day, and he'd park his car and walk all around the cemetery, you know. And now, that's only about 3 weeks ago, 4. So you get kind of used to them old guys, and then you miss them.
See, when you're young, you hop right off. Now you got to go up a ladder.
At age 77, Billy still works and will probably continue until it's time to dig his own grave. And when that day comes, he's prepared.
Yeah, all ready to go. One less thing to worry about when the time comes. Because, say, for instance, you die in the wintertime, it's nice to have everything ready so you know where to go. Because when you go out in the snow out there, and then a lot of people come back in the spring, and they say, "Gee, I didn't know you had this year and that, you know." But you're not thinking at the time of death anyhow. Whatever you show, you write on it, you go say, "Okay, good enough, you know."
Yeah, just put the Lord device in, that's it. And then we don't have to put no green, because it's going to be a drop-in. See, the undertaker brings the remains, and we put it on there, see, because no service. It's just all over with. See, just now we have interments, that's all. And we put, then me and the kid will put the cover. He got to go to down below someplace, so I have to put the cover on. I put them on all the time anyhow. So we do put the cover on the same way as you saw we put that thing, we rig up the same way and put the cover on. But today we got a shovel back in. Yesterday we had the dirt in the truck. We backed right in the wind. See, yeah. Then we tamper down good, and then we get the tractor, which is over there, got topsoil, and then we put the sod back on, and that's it. Touch it up a little bit to the rake, and that's the end of it.
The people and places of our town, Norway, are without a doubt someplace special, just like many other parts of the Upper Peninsula are. So the next time you're headed through the south-central part of the UP on US 2, stop in Norway for an hour or two just to get a taste of what secrets it holds for those who happen by. And on behalf of the TV6 News Extra staff, a hearty thank you goes to all those who made our jobs a little easier by providing so much assistance during our visits. The answer to tonight's TV6 News Extra quiz question is coming up in just a moment, along with the news and the weather. And then later, News Extra viewers have the opportunity to sound off.
Dave finished the marathon in 2 hours, 40 minutes. Janet and her entire family finished in 6 hours, 20 minutes. And sweet Mrs. Jackson finished in 3 hours, 6 minutes.
No sweat, honey.
Join the marathon for yourself and take 20 to 50% off new spring and summer merchandise starting Friday. With fashion, quality, value, and service, the Yonkers Marathon Sale.
You better wear your running shoes.
Yonkers opens at 9 a.m. Friday and Saturday.
I'm feeling empty. I'm feeling blue. I know it's over. And I know it's through.
Man, now that's the blues.
Next time you want to dye your Pepsi ring, all you got to do is ask.
Now that's the right one, baby.
Your family deserves our finest, whether it's in our town, Norway, or anywhere in the UP or Northeast Wisconsin. We're Northland Food Stores, the home of value-priced, quality North Fried products, which include applesauce, canned vegetables, pastas, spaghetti sauce, flour, pickles, smoked hams, butter, and orange juice. Good quality, great price. If you've tried them, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't, find out what you're missing. North Fried products available only at your local Northland Food Store, where we're proud of our town, Norway.
Recently, an object was sighted.
It was big. It was just big.
Too big to measure with the human eye.
They say it could show up anywhere.
Whoa! See that? Open up! It's me!
Bigfoot from Pizza Hut.
Out of sight, big.
2 square feet of pizza.
I can handle it.
For the special carry-out price of...
What?
Only $8.99. It's bigger than pizza. Bigfoot from Pizza Hut. A legendary value.
Good evening, everyone, and here's what's happening in the news tonight. In-state students at Michigan Tech will be paying $1,000 a quarter more for tuition. The 6.6% room and board increase will also go into effect. The Michigan Tech Board of Control approved the 93-94 budget today, which included the increases. Board members say they hope to pay back the faculty for their hard work.
As a board, we have consistently urged the administration to develop plans to reward our outstanding teachers, researchers, and staff that make Michigan Tech the best buy in terms of quality and cost. Every one of us wants to see remuneration increase so that the lowest paid employees are receiving a decent wage and so that faculty are being appropriately rewarded for their hard work. That means that adjustments will also need to be made at various salary levels.
MTU will hold their graduation ceremonies tomorrow. 7 more bases have been added to the Pentagon's closure list. Naval shipyards in California, Virginia, and Maine are all targeted to close. The Closure Commission has identified K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base as one of the original 31 bases to close. Chairman of the commission, Jim Corder, says these decisions are only preliminary. The final list is expected out July 1st. The second in a series of 3 public hearings held by the State Senate Health Policy Committee took place in Escanaba today, led by Hubbard Lake Republican John Ferdina. Part of the committee's mission is to allow rural communities the opportunity to have a say in the state's health care policy.
The biggest problem I've seen is that representation in the Michigan legislature as it relates to health care in the past has really been urban-based. And too many of the policies and the practices of health care have been inspired by Detroit legislators.
Healthcare professionals, special interest advocates, and members of the general public all spoke before the committee on a variety of healthcare issues. There are unconfirmed reports tonight that former Michigan Governor James Blanchard will become the next ambassador to Canada. A source to the Canadian press says Ottawa was told about the nomination last week by the State Department. Officials at the White House haven't responded to the report. The appointment is not official until the White House makes an announcement. A first for the Upper Peninsula is taking place this weekend in the city of Marquette. 2 panels from the AIDS Memorial Quilt are on display on the campus of Northern Michigan University, along with a quilt created by the family of a Marquette man. Patrick Taylor was just 24 years old when AIDS ended his life. The panel takes on a different meaning for those who view it.
I was really struck when I walked in here today, immediately. It was like an emotional bomb when I walked in here and saw all of the panels, because it meant to me that the people aren't just a number or a statistic.
I think it takes something like this in order to really reach in and maybe stir people's souls and cause them to do something to respond to the AIDS epidemic.
The quilt is on display until 9 tonight and from 2 until 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. A very moving and emotional exhibit. Time for the weather now, and hopefully we got a good weekend planned for us.
Well, we have a half and half weekend.
A half and half, a 50-50.
Right. In fact, I'll explain that. We'll pass along the full forecast for the weekend. First of all, the high and low today at the Marquette County Airport.
Loft Homes Building Center is proud to be a part of the Norway community. Loft Homes is a full-service building center which serves the professional to the novice. You'll find anything you need for almost any project, including quality Andersen windows. With Andersen windows and your imagination, you can turn an ordinary wall into a work of art. Create inviting places of beauty, light, and comfort with Andersen windows from Loft Homes Building Center, West US 2 in Norway. Loft Homes Building Center, proud to be part of our town.
The Norway Vulcan Kiwanis Club has been a part of our town, Norway, since 1975. Each year, our fundraising dollars are used primarily toward providing programs for the youth of our community. Programs such as sponsoring a tea club and youth in government, drug counseling, and Project DARE in our schools. Outside of the classroom, we sponsor Little League Baseball, Pee Wee Hockey, and Scouting. The Norway Vulcan Kiwanis is a 31-member service club that is proud to be a part of our town, Norway.
A message from Champion International.
Riverside Auto Sales now has the new 1993 Plymouth Acclaims and Dodge Spirit starting as low as $10,993. All have power steering, power brakes, driver's side airbag, tilt, cruise, air, AM/FM stereo, rear defrost, and other extras that make the Plymouth Acclaim and Dodge Spirit an exceptional buy at only $10,993. Pick up a Spirit or Acclaim for yourself before they're all gone.
Bring the family. Come on in and meet the man.
Riverside Auto Sales, home of the deal-making man in Escanaba, Iron Mountain, Marquette, and Marinette.
This month, we're proud to salute our town, Norway.
The city of Norway provides its residents with a number of important services and recreational opportunities, including an excellent school system, city-operated power and cable television systems, a magnificent municipal golf course, Strawberry Lake Park, and a downtown development authority that works with the members of the business community to promote opportunities for expansion and growth. Norway is a nice place to live, and that's why Norway is our town.
Satellite view from last night, we had the clouds over our area, still some lingering showers in the east. Out to the west, thunderstorms developing in Montana, portions of Idaho, back into Wyoming, and down into New Mexico. The latest system to move out of the Pacific Ocean to the east. It continues working to the east. Still some showers in the Rockies, now just starting to develop in the plains. Moisture kind of scant with the system right now. The system I'm talking about, low pressure, a pretty strong one in Alberta, a front extending back into the Great Basin and then into California. And here's a warm front that's focusing some of these showers. Eventually, we'll get enough moisture to move up into this. This high pressure that's over us right now moves to the east, and then the south flow comes in off the Gulf of Mexico. This high pressure area will provide a quiet night tonight with clearing skies and a good first part of the weekend. But as we head into Saturday, here's what we expect to happen. We should start out with sun over the entire Upper Peninsula, but then clouds will start working from west to east as the day wears on. Rain should start to develop with some showers, maybe even a thunderstorm in Minnesota into western Wisconsin later in the day, possibly even into the far west by evening. A better chance of rain for tomorrow night, and rain quite probable across the entire Upper Peninsula on Sunday as this whole low-pressure trough kind of coagulates into one system moving into Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula for Sunday. Back with the forecast for the weekend and the winners tonight in our TV6 Big Boy Weather Station contest in just a moment.
This is our town. This is Norway, an area with all the advantages that only a small town can offer. The Norway Diner offers heaping helpings to hungry people. Daily specials include pasties and pizzas. There's an all-you-can-eat chicken and spaghetti dinner on Fridays when kids under 5 eat free. The Norway Diner is open 24 hours a day, Friday and Saturday. And seniors always get a 10% discount at the Norway Diner on East US 2. Proud to promote our town.
Temperatures 57 at Escanaba and Menominee. Kind of cool close to Lake Superior, even as far to the west as the Marquette County Airport. 51 the current reading, 55 at Houghton, and 58 at Ironwood. For the north, clear to partly cloudy, winds near calm, a low near freezing at 34. Sunny, then clouding up tomorrow, a high of 64 with increasing south winds. For the south, clear to partly cloudy, a low of 36 tonight. Tomorrow, sunny, then clouding up, a high of 60, but cooler near Lake Michigan as those south winds increase. For Sunday, rain. Temperatures cool back by the rain and the clouds to the 50s, and then early next week into the middle of next week, weather similar to what we've had this week. Highs in the 50s, maybe a couple of stray showers here and there. This is the way the winners look tonight. Fran and Donna Gatien of Powers, John Nicholas of Trinary, John Lund of Calumet. He's a teacher at the Calumet Middle School, and he wanted the TV6 Big Boy Weather Station for his students, so we obliged. And Mrs. B. Fesnick of Sidnaw in southern Houghton County, proud winners of this weather station. It's not rocket science, but it's durable. It's been through a lot.
That's true, and it'll come in handy because you're spreading them out all over the UP, so you get a kind of a mix of what the weather's like everywhere.
We'll see.
All right. Well, tonight is the TV6 News Extra Quiz question time, and we asked a weather question. Since 1949, how many snowstorms have occurred on St. Patrick's Day? Was it A, 39, B, 1, C, 10, or D, 16? If you answered B, 1, you are correct. The snowstorm came on March 17th, 1965. And, Carl, a lot of people always say there's always a St. Patrick's Day storm.
St. Patty's Day storm.
Rather a big misnomer.
Right, at least from the time I look back, all the way from 1949 through the present time, there's only one bona fide biggie. That was in 1965. You might remember that one.
How many inches do you remember offhand?
It was about a foot, but there was a lot of wind with that storm.
All right, that qualifies as a big one.
You bet.
All right, coming up tonight on the TV6 Late News with Greg Trick, we'll keep tabs on the Base Closure Commission's meeting in Washington, D.C. this evening. We'll hopefully tell you the fate of K.I. Sawyer on this latest series of hearings. Also, the conclusion to our series, The Papermakers, looking to the future. And in sports, Mike Connor with regional track results. Join us for the late news tonight. We'll be back with more on the Extra after these commercial messages.
He's mentioned about clear-cutting pine and popple, that it needed sunlight to start all new seedlings. But he didn't mention anything about clear-cutting of our hardwood forest.
Enhancing the beauty of your home or business in our town, Norway, or around the Upper Peninsula calls for the work of Beck's Ornamental and Turf and the New York Lake Sod Farm. Beck's Ornamental and Turf can create a landscape that's both functional and beautiful. They'll also maintain your landscaping with their professional staff. New York Lake Sod Farm provides the lush green lawn that you've always wanted. Using the best quality bluegrass seed, you're guaranteed a beautiful, strong, and healthy lawn. Beck's Ornamental and Turf and the New York Lake Sod Farm, a beautiful way to see our town, Norway.
Mom, we're out of toilet paper! Mom, we need more toilet paper! Mom, toilet paper!
If you're constantly changing your bathroom tissue, change to new Kleenex Double Roll Bathroom Tissue. It takes 2 rolls of other premium brands to make 1 roll of Kleenex because our smaller hole lets us double the roll. And less changing gives you 1 less thing to worry about.
Mom, we're out of milk!
New Kleenex Double Roll. You'll love it more because you'll change it less.
Tonight, an invitation to a Sadie Hawkins Day dance on Family Matters. Then, Karen rates her date.
There are 7 categories. Books, hair, car, clothes, money, body, and others.
And Cody gets irate.
Color me ticked off.
A season finale of Step by Step, and who can calm the mom?
I'm the man with the master plan.
A season finale of Getting By, then Coop goes to the dogs.
Wait a minute. He's a boy dog.
Catch Coop on a special night in time.
Tonight on TV6.
You'd be hard-pressed to find any topic as volatile with Upper Michigan residents as is the issue of clear-cutting. Tonight in the segment we call Sound Off, one News Extra viewer from Gastra writes in response to a program we aired in February during which the president of the Timbermen's Association maintained that the practice of clear-cutting is beneficial for some species, but that his group's aim is to preserve and maintain Michigan's forest lands.
Mr. Greaves mentioned about clear-cutting pine and popple, that it needed sunlight to start all new seedlings. But he didn't mention anything about clear-cutting of our hardwood forests, and that they just don't regenerate, and no one is planting new. Yet they continue to clear-cut 40s and sections. They say there's more than they will ever need, but they also said that about the great pine in the early 1900s, but they are gone. Someday, should you get him back, ask him about the clear-cut hardwoods. Thank you for your time.
Feelings on the clear-cutting issue are likely to be stirred up even further if President Clinton's plan to stop all national forest land timber harvesting is actually adopted. Considering the number of Upper Michigan residents who make their living from the forest industry, this proposal is likely to greatly affect the UP and the state of Michigan. How do you feel about the Clinton plan and about the overall implications of clear-cutting? Let us know. Drop us a line at 177 US 41, Negaunee, Michigan, 49866. And while you're at it, drop a line to the Base Closure and Realignment Commission in regard to K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base. Address your letters to the chairman of that commission, James Corder. His address, 1700 North Moore Street, Suite 1425, Arlington, Virginia, 22209. Then send a copy of your letter to Upper Michigan Congressman Bart Stupak at 317 Cannon, Washington, D.C. 20510. That's going to wrap up the News Extra for tonight. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Tuesday night.
Discovering, Monday at 7, 6 Central, here on TV6.
Oh, that's cute.
Thank you.
What's for dinner?
Anything you want. I can't do everything around here.
What's going on?
The painter's coming tomorrow.
What's painter? I thought we were doing that together.
That's what I thought back in October. By February, I saw the light.
What's the rush?
Because every time I walk in here, I feel like the walls are smirking. But they know they have nothing to worry.
Well, I really do this time. I don't have the answer. I don't have a plan. No matter about you, baby. So help me understand what we do. You can whisper in my ear where we go. Who knows what happens after here? Let's take each other's hand as we
dangerous arm of Luger's. It's just